All right, if you are wondering how to make a double box plot, meaning that you've got two box plots on the same picture, then this is the video for you. All right, so female and male college students reported the cost of getting a haircut, and so here's some data, and we're going to do a box plot for female college students and a box plot for male, and we'll kind of go from there and see what happens, right? Okay. Minimum and maximum is always where I start. It's the easiest because it's the smallest number and the largest number. And since these are already organized from least to small or least to greatest, we can kind of just pick them out, right? Median is the middle, so I'm literally just going to cross out till I find the middle. And there's my median, number 31. And I'm going to mark it with an M. And now I'm going to refine the middle of the bottom half, not including that median. So 0 slashes out 22. So the middle of my bottom half of my data, known as Q1, is 20. And I'll do the same thing for Q3, which stands for the third quartile, meaning I find the middle of this group of numbers, which obviously is 75 by just looking. And then we can kind of draw our box using Q1, the median, and Q3. So I'm going to mark these things. I always start with the median. And again, I'm just going to have to eyeball it because the tick marks aren't really there. So 31 is probably here. 20 for Q1. 75 is probably like there for Q3. We draw our box. It doesn't have to be perfect. I really wanted to be a little more perfect. I guess I could draw it that way. And I'm going to extend the min to 0 with a line and extend the max to 150, which is about there. The IQR, remember, stands for inner, which is the box, right? Inner is, you've got the outer portions here, inner meaning the box. Q is referring to the quartiles, meaning Q1 and Q3. That's what that Q is for. And then the R stands for range, and the range is the gap between the numbers. So we're just going to subtract Q3 minus Q1. Q3 is 75, Q1 is 20, so our IQR is 55. And remember what that really is the size of this box. So the middle 50% of your data. Remember, each section is 25%, 25, 25, 25, 25. So the box represents the middle. So all the people that answered in the middle, how much variety is in their responses. I don't care about the people that paid a little or a lot. I'm talking about the people that paid like medium price. How diverse is that medium price? Small box, small IQR, big box, big IQR. Maybe we'll see that in the next box plot. So now let's do this again, but I'll do this in a different color. Maybe make it, I don't know, green. All right, our minimum is 0. Our maximum is 35. Our median, there's not one there, and that's okay. The median is the middle of those two numbers, so obviously that's 17.5. But if you get two numbers that are not really obvious, you're just going to take those two numbers and you're going to add them together and divide by 2. So 17 plus 18 is 35. Cut that in half and you get 17.5, which is our median. So our median is 17.5. It's not in the data. So I'm going to put our median here. If you really want to write in 7.5, you can. But now I'm going to find the middle of the bottom half. So I do the same thing. 0 and 17 cuts out. And you're like, oh no, I have two numbers left. I have to find the middle of those two. And that's 9.5. And that's Q1. And again, if you're like, wait, what do I do? 9 plus 10, cut it in half. Same thing for Q3. Find the middle of the top. So 18 and 35 cross out. 20 and 20. Well, you can do the same thing. 20 plus 20 divided by 2. 40 divided by 2 is 20, which makes sense because the middle of 20 and 20 can't be anything other than 20. So IQR, I forgot about it, I guess. Again, same thing, subtract the Q's. We've got 20 minus 9.5. So 20 minus 10 is 10, 10.5. There we go. Okay. Brain calculator, whatever. So now if you notice, this IQR is much smaller than this IQR. So what we're going to see is a much smaller box than this. Our max is much smaller. So we're probably going to see this way over here. And a bunch of other stuff is different. So it's good to compare. So 9.5 is the Q1. 17.5 is, I don't know, totally estimating here is there. Q3 is 20. So now I've got that. That's box. Max is 35. That's like this. Minimum is 0. So I think this is the male college students. And this is female. So here's what I know, that they might have pretty similar numbers. I actually don't remember what number this was. I can look at the data, but let's pretend I don't have it. If I'm looking at the picture, 100%, 1, 2, 3, 4, 100% of males spent less than what 50% of females spent. So every dude essentially paid less than only what half of girls spent. Half of the women spent more than all the men did in this section. 25 and 25 would be 50, right? So I can say that 100% of males spent less than the median, the average girl, not the average, the typical girl in college, right? Again, notice the size of the box. This box, sorry, there we go. This box is so much less wide than this one. Again, that's our IQR. Our QR is how wide the box is and the variety in the responses. So look, this size of the range here too, like this length here tells me that there's a wide variety. How much girls pay for haircuts is all over the place. They can be very expensive. They can be kind of in the middle. They can be not a lot, right? Like the girl responses are all over the place. Guys, on the other hand, according to this data, are all basically spending the same amount. It's all concentrated kind of in this section. So a small range of numbers compared to a large range of numbers tells me about the diversity of responses. Okay? All right, I hope that helps.